I know, that's what I was doing. End up looking at my desk, I don't have it.
Yeah, how was your trip?
Intermediate school.
Wow. Really?
I haven't the last 2 years.
We should definitely have them in here.
Yeah. So I think she came What? Something's I don't want to. Well, but that's a, at some point will be 60%. Well, Jim, I've had he wants to go and itch right here. So I went and got to that size ones. It's she just so RCC went late at night. Felt like it was like liquid. I don't know, just
Rest like. Yeah. Self on track. Really hard. We're 24 right now, but still waiting 119. We get down to 118 for track. Tiny peanut. It's not tiny, smart. Yeah, yeah.
All right, I've got 6:30, so I'm going to call us to order. There is no executive session tonight, so we'll stand for pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Then I need a motion to approve the minutes from the 11/26/24 regular meeting.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Brings me to some opening comments. Don't have any updates to the agenda or correspondence, but do just have a reminder of our work with the superintendent search. Hopefully you've all had a chance to see the dates that Matt Cook has set for upcoming meetings. It really is best of our ability to be there. I'm saying that as the person who's going to miss a few of them, but I can't make the commute from Houston. I just can't do it. But make sure to get those on your calendar. Understand that we do have some applicants already in hand that he's in conversation with. And it seems like during the 23rd, the January 23rd meeting, part of that will be reviewing what's come in so far, but also we'll be starting to talk about values and characteristics and setting up conversations with stakeholders and things like that. So that'll be part of that conversation. to be ready for that. So plan for probably, I would guess, probably 90 to 60 minutes, or 90 to 120 minutes, 2 hours. If it's less, bonus for us, but I want to make sure we budget enough time to be present in that. So, but that's all I have.
I've got a couple things. First of all, the music is courtesy of Renee Weeks. Thank you, Renee, for playing the music in the background. And secondly, I wanted to let you know that we had our last OACM, our last capital project meeting last Wednesday. And what has really risen to the top is a need to replace some of the HVAC units that we have currently in our district. I had mentioned a few meetings ago that, again, we're very fortunate with our bids coming in that allowed us to do the work that we had outlined for the public that we wanted to do, and that we were going to be considering what we were calling a phase 3 project. We still are, but it looks like that when we have prioritized those HVAC units that are causing us problems around the district and are requiring a great deal of time and money to repair, that will eat up the majority, if not all, of the remaining money that we have. We haven't finalized putting dollar figures on that work, but if any of you have put any sort of HVAC units in your home, it's expensive in a residential setting. Take that and multiply it by 10 or whatever as it relates to commercial units. So we're going to get a rundown of that. I'll keep you up to date. That work won't begin, we won't even get to it this summer. It would be into next fall would be the likely timing of it. But we'll keep you up to date with that. But I wanted to just kind of give you an update. The work, the punch list items that we're trying to finalize, about the only thing that's really going to drag on for any extended period of time are the permanent bathroom doors at the elementary school. There are 2 bathroom doors now that have doors on them now, but they're not the permanent ones that are going to be there. The lead time for those things are 3, 4, 5 months. And so they've been ordered. It's just a matter of when they come in. But really, the majority of the work has been done. And we're happy to report that we're getting close. So I'll keep you up to date about phase 3. And that's what I have.
I got a question.
Sure.
So does that include the rest of the screens, or are we just gonna settle with the screens that we have?
No, we still are talking screens. They right now we have screens. The problem with some of the screens on the junior high side is that when they were measured, they weren't measured correctly, so that the middle section that's in front of what we call the emergency window, you can get it open, but then to try to get it shut again, it's too tight. They didn't allow for enough room. So they're going to be redoing those at no cost to us. But until they do that, those screens will be in place. So as of right now, we have those screens in. Now it's just a matter of getting the right ones that fit.
Some of our classrooms only have 1 screen because we were low on screens, they were backordered. So is that already accounted for in phase 2, or is that a phase 3?
No,
That's already phase 2.
Yeah, that's phase 2.
Actually, that would be accounted for in phase 1.
Right.
Is there a date yet on them?
Well, like I said, we've got screens in the majority of the rooms now, but even the ones we have that have been delivered aren't the right size. So what we've been told is that by the time we need them in the spring, when we start opening windows again, that we'll have all of the screens. They'll be the permanent screens that we have ordered through the project.
These is the replacements on the original project, before it had to be re-itemized, those were supposed to be replaced.
Yeah.
Right. So now that we get a chance to get those done.
Right.
That's a plus.
Yeah, the whole complex will have new ones, which would be nice. Yeah.
And they've just completed, so we go through a 5-year study. So they've completed the 5-year study for priority items. So it's the way the cycle goes. Once you complete one project, you're then immediately looking at what the next set of projects will be. So that list they put together, that study is done. So they'll be going to look at that next after the completion of phase 3.
Because really, that's, as we've said before, in Homer, we've averaged a project once every 5-6 years. And you have to you have to start planning for the next one because of the time it takes to get it through the approval process, the design process and all that. So there really won't be any downtime.
I think that moves us to our board presentation for the evening.
It does, and because we're here at the flagship, Homer Junior High School, it is tradition that we have a highlight from the junior high school, and I will let Mrs. Schneider kick us off.
Thank you. Good evening, board, and welcome to the junior high and to our beautiful new library. But we were thinking about what we wanted to highlight. It just made sense that we would talk to you about this space, but how students are using this space this year. First, I want to start off by appreciating you for investing in this space and the district for investing in this space. We have our meetings here every year, and those of you that have been on the board know that this is a drastic change from the 70s design that we had here for decades. And the floor is so much easier to clean and beautiful to look at than that carpet before. And there's many other changes that I know that Mrs. Weeks is going to highlight. I also wanted to thank Miss Weeks because she put in so much time in the spring last year, going through decades worth of materials in this library, packing it all up, mostly by herself with some help from some other staff members and volunteers. And then again this fall, unloading all of these books, putting up all these decorations so that it's a welcoming, beautiful space for our students. So I really thank you for all your efforts in that. I'm also excited that we have 3 amazing students here to talk about the library. So we have Annabelle Vernwall, we have Olivia Reynolds and Leah Hardesty, and Miss Weeks, and I'm going to let them take it away.
Hi. I'm going to probably be running over here to change our slideshow to create something for you. So I kind of named this slideshow Where Stories Are Made for our library because there have been so many stories that have started in this library, that have happened in this library. Many people have graduated from the junior high and went up to our high school. So this really resonated with me a lot, mostly because I was here in the 90s. And so it kind of makes me feel really special to be able to see this next chapter in our story. So in that top picture is when I was president of Library Club way back in the day. And
What year was that?
1992. I'm right here next to Mr. Seymour, who was also my librarian back then in one of his first years here. So yeah, it was very exciting for me to be a part of this remodel because just growing up in this library meant a lot to me, and kind of taking on that next chapter is really exciting. So here are a few pictures from before and then to what it is now. Some of the spaces, we wanted to make the library a place that's accessible for all of our students. We wanted to make it welcoming, where all of our students will have a place to belong. So we have created places like our Zen Zone, which is a place where kids can just come in and sit. There's comfy seating, and they can read a book, or they can talk with their friends and just relax just a little bit. We wanted to make sure that our books were featured in a way that drew interest. And in this new setup, it's really exciting to see because kids are finding books that they would not have seen in the past, and they are grabbing them and taking them out, which of course is really exciting for me. So, so you can see some of the changes that we've made. The lighting has just changed it, and it just feels so big and airy right now. I don't know how many of you have been here in the past, but we're incredibly excited about the changes that we've made. Liv, Annabelle, and Leah are going to talk a little bit about the Friends of the Library Club, where they're members. Annabelle has been our president for 2 years. 2 years, right? Yeah. So yeah. If you guys want to share, if you want to go first.
Yeah. So Friends of the Library is kind of like some kids who love reading, love the library, and kind of want to make it a better place, come together, and we have this club where we have a whole we have a secretary, treasury, and we have this whole thing, and we make the library a better place for kids to feel more comfortable about reading, and for everybody to kind of be included in these books. We put a bunch of books up that, like, different kind of things where people can read them. Like, we have all these different genres so they can find what they like, not just like a big shelf with a bunch of different books. And it makes kids feel really comfortable at the library. So yeah.
Do you want to talk about the stuff library club has purchased?
Oh yeah. So that spinning bookshelf back there, the library club just purchased with our scholastic dollars, with our scholastic dollars, and so we could put some books up there and make a little more space on the bookshelves for a few new books that we might get in the future. And we have some new chairs, and Mrs. Weeks has rearranged the library a lot of times, so like we could have classes in here, and she could talk to us about the library, and it's just really nice to be in here and have this club to do what we all really like about it. So yeah.
So like when each year when the school has like our the book fair, we get like scholastic dollars from that, like and sometimes if we make a certain amount we get some cash too, but like we've bought like all our Zen Zone stuff back there using those scholastic dollars and stuff. We also go to the elementary, like we try to do it like 3 times a year. And we get to read to like the elementary school kids and do like crafts with them, which is a lot of fun.
So we also do like we have meetings every Thursday, and sometimes we work on like different things in the library, like decorating for Christmas or Halloween. And sometimes we talk about new things we want to purchase, going to the elementary to read to the kids. And we just try to make the library more welcoming, and we try to have student voices to make like the library more comfortable for the students.
We do have some other clubs that we host in the library, which I think everybody is a member of book club, but Liv, do you want to talk a little bit about what book club is?
Yeah, book club is where every month they give us a new book to read, and they give us about a month to read it, and then we have a date where we come into the library and we discuss it, and it's not like we pressure them to finish it. That's why there's a whole club about it, so these kids can read it, and if they haven't finished, they can find out through the other students who have read it, and we let them keep the book afterwards, so if they didn't finish, they don't have to hand it right back, and they can read it by themselves and finish it like they wanted to. And every month it's like a different book. Like Unplugged was about a boy who had to go to this OSIS and had to be unplugged. So that would be like if you got your phone taken away so you could do something fun outside. They like showed something fun that you could do, like maybe there were a bunch of fun things that he did. And then Hands is a little about like the boy sticking up for himself, choosing between trying to fend for his family or doing what he loves, which is art. And then right now we haven't had the meeting yet, it's coming up, but the Iron Trail is about a boy who like has these powers. His father doesn't want him to have them because he's scared of what might happen, and he goes through this whole thing called the Iron Trial. And yeah, it's like each month we have a cool new book to read, and everybody can discuss it, and they can get these books and maybe find out what they really like to read. So yeah.
Do you want to talk about D&D Club?
Yes. So D&D Club is really fun. It's a game, D&D, I don't think many people know it, but it's really fun. It's basically a game where instead of having pieces or instead of having pieces or having to pull cards or something, you basically your DM, your dungeon master, it's all like you get to play the game in your imagination. So it's the people in D&D Club. I feel like it's kind of a club where you can find people that have the same interests as you, because not many people like D&D, but there's a whole club that you can just go to, and then you get to have fun. And it's everyone in D&D is like really nice, and I really like the game too. So even kids that have never played before can find out what it is and maybe get into it. And I've made a lot of friends as well in people that have the same interests as me.
I can tell you that D&D Club destroys the myth of the quiet library. Because we are super loud in here when it comes to D&D. Okay, so finally, this one is our last big feature. We in tandem with the HGHSCA do Battle of the Books, and Annabelle, as our person who has done the questions every year for the last 3 years, is going to talk a little bit about that.
So basically, anyone who wants to in the junior high can get in like a team. They make a team of like usually like 3 to 5 people, and then there's like a list of books that they have to read, and they have from like December-ish to like it's in March, and the entire team has to like figure out how they're gonna all read the books or whatever, and then they go and compete against all the other teams about like questions based on that book. And it's a lot of fun. Like as we said, I've done the questions for them, but it's always fun like watching them like think and like it's just a lot of fun.
And if there are library club members who have a lot of stuff going on in their year and they're not able to commit to reading the books, I do have them volunteer. So Annabelle has graciously volunteered for doing the questions, but we've had students do scorekeeping or hyping up the crowd or the snack table. So like everybody's involved in some way, and so it's a lot of fun. It's happening March 12th this year, and we're already at 7 teams. So this is like this is the highest number of teams, and I don't think we're done getting teams because the next week is our deadline. So, but thank you so much for letting us talk about what's happening here in the library. We absolutely are so excited to share our joy with everybody. And I can't wait for years to come for us to be in this library and share it with future generations. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't run away too fast here, please. One of the things that happens when you come and share with the board is you get certificates to celebrate your sharing with us and spending the time doing that. But also it's great to hear what's happening in the life of not just the library but the school. And you've represented the school well tonight so that we on the board can hear a little bit about what's happening. So I just want to present this to Olivia. Thank you for sharing with us, and Annabelle, Leah. We even have one for Miss Mix. And as always, folks are welcome to stay as long as you'd like to, but we also understand if you don't want to hang out for the business meeting aspect of it, that's understandable.
Take some cookies and milk on your way out, or water.
Nice ice cold.
Nice ice cold.
That would sell at my house. If my family was here. I don't know what it's like. All right. The new business. Motion to approve the warrant reports and the claim auditor's reports.
Second?
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Need a motion to approve the treasurer's report. So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Stacy, second.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. We have for information there your
investment summary and your budget status report and revenue status report. Now we'll move to our report on the Committee on Special Education. Motion to approve the report from the Committee on Special Education. So moved. Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion to approve the disposal of items from the intermediate and high school.
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion to approve personnel as recommended by Superintendent Turk.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Just like that, we find ourselves at informational.
We do. I have a few to share with you. A couple of fundraising updates, actually 3 fundraising updates. One from the intermediate school. We've got a Change for Hope. That's raising money for Upstate Golisano Children's Hospital in pediatric cancer ward. The high school FFA will be selling some popcorn, and the varsity club will having an indoor track throwing invitation. So a lot of good opportunities to help support some good causes. The second is the 2025-26 draft budget calendar. For those of you that have been on the board for a bit, it will look awfully familiar to you. It all culminates with our budget vote on May the 20th. And we will, really, once we get back from the holidays, we'll be talking budget in various bits and pieces for the rest of the school year.
Just looking around, the crowd gathered here, I don't see folks from the general public, but anybody wishing to be heard this evening? Not seeing anybody move in that direction. We have no board committee reports, no district committee reports, so that brings us to board member activities.
I've been participating in basketball rec, and I'm uber excited. The doors are unlocked, and we can get in the building. We don't have to text people, call people, fart around and all that, because that was amazingly frustrating last year. So I'm super happy that that is working this year for all of the hundreds of families that show up for that. And I've seen a couple volleyball games at the junior high level, and a concert. Went to a concert. Checked out the concert. Tom, I thought you did an awesome job. I don't know if anyone recorded it, or I kind of thought it would be highlighted.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's
I thought
right.
it would be highlighted. I thought it was a really cool addition, and I was like, what are you
enjoyed that,
doing
yeah.
for the next concerts? Like, is the pressure on to do something at these shows?
The student representative's father has reached out to me and offered some challenge.
I heard you'll be singing at our next concert.
I'm not sure if that's true, but we'll give it some consideration.
It's
No,
Sinatra.
Yeah. I thought it
Pull it
was,
up.
was the guy sitting next to you, was that the kid that passed out last year?
Yes. Well, he did it actually.
Right, but I noticed him at the concert and thought, you know what, I admire that kid, like, he came back.
Yeah.
If you remember last year, he was like,
Yeah.
I don't feel good,
Almost out.
down he went. So that was, and I think our music program, I think they do an outstanding job.
Yes, absolutely.
Anybody else? All right, upcoming events.
Speaking of concerts, we have 3 more. And just to challenge the community, we put them at all at different starting times. So next, on the 12th, so that'll be Thursday night, we have the high school vocal concert. That'll start at 7:30 at the high school. Next Tuesday, we'll have the junior high holiday concert. That starts at 6:30. And then finally, we'll finish up the holiday season with the intermediate school concert. That's on the 19th, which would be next Thursday night. And we thought we'd start that one at 7. So 3 more chances to see our kids in action. So much talent, just so much talent, and I get a kick out of watching the parents watch their kids. I think that's just the grandparents. I think it's just a cool phenomenon that we've got going here. So that's it.
All right, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming. Cookies. 3 minutes.